there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we are talking, Beyonce announced the other day that she is coming out with a whiskey line, and there's some controversy because some people are not happy about this, and people already less than 24 hours have pointed out that it looks very similar, the bottle, the horse, to another existing whiskey brand, and we're going to talk about it. So this is coming from Houston News, 11, however, it's everywhere. It says, introducing Sir Davis, Beyonce adds whiskey maker to her resume in honor of moonshiner great-grandpa. When I discovered that my great-grandfather had been moonshine man, I felt like my love for whiskey was faded. She has a new venture. It's already winning awards and turning heads, even though we just came out. The H-Town native teamed up with Moet Hennessy to create Sir Davis, a luxury whiskey years in the making that's headquartered in Houston. I've always been drawn to the power and confidence I feel when drinking quality whiskey and want to invite more people to experience that feeling. Beyonce said, when I discovered that my great-grandfather had been a moonshine man, it felt like my love for whiskey was faded. Sir Davis was a way for me to pay homage to him, uniting us through a new shared legacy. Beyonce says her paternal great-grandfather, Davis Hogg, sorry if I'm butchering your last name, was a successful moonshiner during Prohibition who would stash his bottles in the knots of cedar trees for friends and family to find and enjoy. The Sir Davis website features a poetic letter to Hogg from Beyonce. I feel you in the heart of the landscapes, your laughter rolling in the rye. It begins, for you I raise my glass to legacy. We ride the movement, we savor the moment. Beyonce tapped into her love of Japanese whiskey, spelled without the E, used for U.S. and Irish blends, and worked with Moet Hennessy's award-winning master distiller, Dr. Bill Lumpson, to craft Sir Davis. I think together we have risen something that I'm hugely excited about. And I think that whiskey drinkers are going to be blown away because it's really quite different from anything I've tasted before. Lumpson said, Sir Davis recently won Best Class for American Whiskey from the 2023 SIP Awards, outperforming over 100 other entries in the category. It received a gold medal, 95 points at the 2023 New York International Spirits Competition, and a 93-point rating from the 2023 Ultimate Spirits Challenge. Beyonce also designed the Sir Davis bottle, which is the irony looking at the bottles right now, which is a regal bronze horse on a black medallion, a nod to her Texas roots, and similar to her recent history-making album, Act 2 Cowboy Carter, that has disappeared into the abyss, you guys. Sir Davis is finished, blended, and bottled into the Lone Star State, and the website features cocktail recipes, including the Houston and Texas Buckland. It retails at $89 and is available for pre-order via sirdavis.com. It will be available at retail stores and select airports such as LAX, JFK, and SFO in September, you guys. So there's a lot that I want to talk about in regards to this. Also, Beyonce and Jay-Z partnering up with LVMH, which Tina Knowles was throwing shade about, who is, of course, famously partnered up with Rihanna. When Rihanna came out with, Fenty Beauty and everything else, was making this big spiel about being 100% black-owned, but your daughter, it's okay for her to partner with the same people. So that explains why, a little while back, the Carters were in Paris. And also I want to look at Beyonce, because now we are back to black, right? We're back to black, and no more of the platinum wigs trying to promote Cowboy Carter, right? So nonetheless, but there are some people, a lot of fans are not happy about this because they do not understand this. They feel as though, she has rushed so many projects without this last year, you guys. So I want to say this because I've actually, those of you who don't know, I am not a Beyonce hater. I actually have been to several of her tours and, was rocking with her. I really enjoyed her first two solo albums, and I prefer her Destiny's Child stuff. But her recent stuff, I just can't get through. I can't listen to all the way through and all of the things. But I've just kind of peeped her behavior in particularly as of late, and it's just not right. It's just not right. And shout out to Meg Thee Stallion and K.Michelle, because I want to know, K.Michelle did this, I believe, in 2018 or so when she partnered with Jack Daniels, and I believe she has a country song about whiskey, and I believe Meg Thee Stallion was supposed to originally come out with a whiskey line, and now is doing tequila instead. But it's just very interesting, the Japanese reference, and Meg Thee Stallion has the hit Japanese-inspired song with the TikTok challenge, and Beyonce said, no. You stick to tequila. You choose something else. I'm going to release this whiskey, girl. So nonetheless, and again, Chloe Bailey's album came out, and it's not even on the Billboard 200, you guys. But I wanted to read you guys this. So this is coming, shout out to the People's Oracle on Instagram. It says the following. It says, this is a prime example what I was talking about in my reading for the full moon. You could tell that somebody thinks about you by their behavior and their expectations of you. This is what Beyonce thinks of you. You are a never-ending source of money, so she can continue to hoard wealth and tell you you're poor. She thinks that she can keep selling you things because you're addicted to consumption. She thinks that you have no self-respect and are easy to manipulate into thinking that you need whatever she is selling you. She knows that you want a piece of her, and she is going to sell herself in every way because you are always going to buy. So nonetheless, here's the thing. If that was the case, all of these things would stop flopping. In the last year, Beyonce has released a $200 signature perfume that did not go well. She rushed up the Cowboy Carter album, and it's nowhere to be found as far as any visuals, as far as any follow-up singles or anything. I believe they just announced today that she's going to be nominated for Country Artist of the Year, and the fans are not happy about it in the comments. And then, of course, the rush release of the original vinyl records that did not even have the correct album title and was missing all of the so-called quote-unquote country songs. And then did another release recently to boost album sales because nobody was streaming the album anymore. You guys, nobody had time to get through those 30 songs and all that cussing and all of these other things. No one had time for it. And then we have the hair care line, right? We have Secret, right? Except for there's criticism with that because, again, we never see Beyonce's real hair. And two, Beyonce's not even promoting the brand. It's her mom. It's Tina Knowles who is doing the press tour for Secret. And what this whiskey line is giving, it is giving Jay-Z is all over it. It is giving, circa, he wanted to redo something after the Ace of Spades debacle and selling that and all of the things. And now we have this whiskey line because it's like, nonetheless, Beyonce on his mouth like liquor was how many years ago, right? Like the Lemonade album, would have been the appropriate time to come out with this, or even self-titled era would have been the opportune time to come out with this. But I just don't understand what's happening. And then to name after your son a whiskey brand, a whiskey line, but your daughters, get Grammys, they get features on songs, they get a clothing line named after them and all these things, and your son is getting liquor. I just don't understand, you guys. But nonetheless, it is just giving a money grab because there is so many different ventures that Beyonce is trying to rush out within this last year, and it's very abnormal for her. She doesn't move like this, and it's moving like, I need the money. I need something to supplement something, because if Secret was doing so well, that would be all she'd be focused on, right? Or if the Cowboy Carter was doing so well, she wouldn't have to do all these re-releases of it, right? And this obsession with awards is so mind-boggling to me, right? I don't care how many awards people win because Kanye already exposed that awards can be purchased. But at the end of the day, the thing that Beyonce does is her machine will will push, at the very beginning of every venture that this is the greatest thing of all time. This is the best thing of all time. This is going to be, perfect and all of these things. And then once the hype dies down, once people listen to the music, once people buy the merchandise, once people see the products for themselves, they're not impressed. But I want to know from you guys, are you guys whiskey drinkers? Does this fit with you? And how is it that Beyonce is going to continue this madness of not talking to her fans, not talking to the consumers? I don't care about all of these stories that are now having to come out with everything you put out now because you refuse to do an in-person interview where we see you walking and talking and interacting with the people and answering questions. I don't understand it. Why you are still so secluded like this after all of these years in the industry. Like I don't understand it at all, but we're supposed to just shell out money for all of these things. What happened to the Vegas residency? What happened to the announcement of the tour to promote Cowboy Carter? But yet we are in all of these get-rich-quick schemes of all of these ventures because you're trying to find something that is going to make you millions of dollars. And the issue is Beyonce, the brand, Beyonce, the ventures outside of your tours don't work out for you. Because you've lost the connection to your fans several years ago when you decided to put on this mystique and decided that you were no longer going to talk to the people. You were no longer going to do any in-person promotion for anything. And it just took it to the nth power where everything now is just emailed questions and responses to things. And your mom or Jay-Z are the ones that are speaking out and promoting stuff on your behalf. But nonetheless, it is just crazy to me, how, again, it's every month practically this year, there's been something new since February. And we had, of course, the push for the Verizon commercial at the beginning of this year, which I still don't fully understand, what the point of that was about. And then we had, of course, Beyonce doing promotion during the Olympics and all these things. People assumed that the commercial that she was filming for in July was for Levi's, but it in fact was actually for this liquor brand. And I'm confused. I am confused because it doesn't fit with Beyonce. Beyonce was presented to us, you guys, as this pageant girl, as this prim and proper girl, and all of these things under the management of Matthew Knowles, right? That everything was going to be commercial, everything was going to be, professional and squeaky clean image, right? But ever since the influence of Jay-Z, everything's been messy. Everything's been a shade fest. Everything's been a drag fest. And then, since Beyonce doesn't want to say it out loud, it comes out from her mom or her cousin or Jay-Z, just throwing these jabs at other people unprovoked. But then it's like she's listening to somebody because she went from saying that she doesn't want to be a singles artist to then once people said she didn't have a number one hit since Bush was in office, rushed to get into all these collaborations to get these number one hits. And then she stopped promoting her albums and ever since really self-titled. And she just relies on the fact that her name is Beyonce, that you should automatically buy it. But the problem is, all of the hype, once the things actually get released and people actually see what it is for itself, they see the music for what it is for itself, they see these products for what it is for themselves, and they realize the math isn't mathing. They realize it is overhyped, it is overpriced, and it is not worth the price of admission outside of seeing her on tour. But even that, we can argue about whether or not the discography it matches the level of tour that goes into everything, right? But then, people are getting pissed because of these Michael Jackson comparisons now, all of a sudden. That Beyonce is on Michael Jackson's level. We've got to stop this, you guys. It's not landing, especially with the Michael Jackson fans. First of all, their discographies are not in the same stratosphere, you guys. They're not the same level of performers. They're not the same level of songwriting and producing and all these things. Because we've already exposed how that songwriting thing goes when it comes to Beyonce. But nonetheless, you guys, I just feel like all of this is a money grab, and it's giving desperation. It is giving that I have limited time left, and I need to throw everything in the kitchen sink to the wall to see what finally sticks that is going to be something else that I can have that's lucrative, so I don't have to tour for the rest of my life. But the thing is, somebody has to tour to pay back Jay-Z's Live Nation deal. Someone has to do it, because Jay-Z has effectively retired from performing because he keeps canceling all of his festivals. But I just don't see this ending well. Beyonce was better off if it was just like about getting rich quick. She was better off just announcing a Vegas residency. That apparently talks fell through with the Sphere because she wanted access to shut down the Sphere for multiple weeks at a time when Las Vegas is a tourist attraction. As if you couldn't replicate the stage somewhere else in Las Vegas when they're throwing millions at you. Make it make sense. But that's the thing. You have this ego where everything's supposed to shut down for you. Everything, because you're the most awarded, for all of these things, but we never see anything that matches the awards that you're receiving for it. It's like you're doing all of these things to try to give it credibility and validity, but once people actually, listen to the music, buy the products, it doesn't give. And ever since, things with the Adidas deal fell through, everything has been a mad dash to try to find something that is going to be your big break outside of music. And it's giving desperation, you guys. I'm sorry to say. I never expected this from Beyonce. I never did. Beyonce never has moved like this in her career. Ever. Everything had always been very calculated, had been meticulous, had been professional. Everything within the last year and a half especially has been completely and utterly all over the place. Has been unorganized, has not been professional, has been unfinished, has been rushed. And then once people criticize her, then she goes back and tries to undo the mess. But the problem is people see all of the shenanigans that's taking place and they don't want any parts of it. What about your fans that don't even drink alcohol, Beyonce? Or what about your fans that don't even, aren't even into liquor like that, right? Like, it just doesn't make any sense at all. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, maybe this ties into Cowboy Carter. Well, when's the last time Beyonce's even promoted Cowboy Carter? Does anybody know? So there is that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.